The City Commission discussed a number of items. I'm going to highlight a few of them in today's session. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the moderate income housing applications. The Kansas Housing Resources Corporation opened a process to allow cities to submit applications for their moderate income housing program. This is in essence a grant program whereby cities can request up to $650,000 for a development project. Unfortunately, the city can only select one project, so we opened it up and asked folks to submit a proposal if they were interested in providing a development plan to apply for this program. The city received 2 proposals for the MIH application. The first of these proposals is from Dean Construction LLC and would include a 20-unit development located right here in the southwest portion of El Dorado, west of Butler Community College and just south of Twana Avenue. As you can see on this map, 40 acres is highlighted, although the proposal would actually only build on the northern end as basically phase 1 of the project. So right off of Twana Avenue, you'd have about 20 homes. Again, a portion of these would be single-family homes, and then the other portion would be townhomes, as is referred to in the proposal. The total cost of this project is estimated at $5.9 million and is being asked for MIH grant application considerations. The second proposal would be located north of Central Avenue off of Mill Heisler Road. And this project is from RSH Holdings LLC and would include 40 single-family units and is estimated to cost about $13 million. So the City Commission is looking at both of these proposals to determine which of those 2 will be selected for the city's 2023 MIH grant application. Both applicants are also asking the city to consider the establishment of an RHID, or a Rural Housing Incentive District. Now, without going into too many of the details, in essence, what this is the city can create a district, a defined geographic area, and within that geographic area can capture the property taxes that are created as a result of the new development and use those property taxes to pay for public infrastructure. This public infrastructure is important because it supports the housing and allows for the developer to develop the housing at as low of a cost as possible, because in this case, the property owners are not paying property taxes and special assessments. They're just paying property taxes, which, as you can imagine, is a lot cheaper than paying both. So the next step is on Monday, the City Commission will determine which of those 2 applications the city will support for its application to the state's MIH program. The MIH program is very competitive, and so our hope is that by submitting an application, we can be considered for funding and hopefully we'll receive a grant that will allow for some housing to be created in El Dorado. All right, now let's talk about some transportation planning. JEO Consulting provided an update to the City Commission. The first stage of that project, the due diligence stage, is in essence completed. And what the due diligence stage looked at was the current transportation system throughout El Dorado and how it operates. Is it efficient? Does it need improvements? Where does it need improvements? Where are the problem areas? And they did that by observing traffic patterns, taking traffic counts, collecting traffic data, and then they will begin to analyze that data to determine where some of those problem areas exist. In addition to that, they're also going to be looking at some scenario planning to help us look at what happens if the city were to be successful in recruiting large industry to certain parts of our community. How does that traffic flow in and out of our community? How do we get it in and out? And that could be things like freight, or it could be even employee traffic patterns as well. We have to accommodate both. And we have to align it with existing traffic patterns, which in some cases are already stressed. For example, 6th Avenue during certain parts of the day is at capacity, and there's really not any additional places for that traffic to go. They're also going to be looking at things like the truck route and how well it performs, and if there's different things that can be done to enhance or improve the truck route. And they're going to be looking at a number of other things, safety concerns, efficiency, you get the gist. The idea is to provide numbers of scenarios and potential projects that could ultimately make our transportation system work better for the citizens of El Dorado. The City Commission also provided some input in terms of what they consider to be the priorities and concerns for the transportation system. Some of the topics that came up was the truck route, traffic patterns, especially around school districts, and making sure that our planning incorporates the industrial planning that we've been working on over the last several years. Ultimately, the City Commission's goals are to make sure that whatever transportation improvements are done, ensure that the system works efficiently and is also done in a manner that preserves safety, or at least makes the system as safe as possible. We're trying to balance a couple different things with respect to our transportation system: existing traffic patterns as well as future traffic patterns. And so the Commission wanted to stress the fact that we need to make sure that our system links those two things together to make our improvements today not only function for today, but also make sure they function for the future. All that being said, we're about to begin the next phase of the transportation plan, and that is the public engagement process, which is perhaps one of the most important elements of the entire plan. So, as we transition to this next phase, we want to invite you to keep informed about what's going on so that you too can provide input as far as our transportation system and how it works now, and what are some of the concerns that you have, so that we can incorporate that into our ultimate transportation master plan. While we don't have the details yet, be sure to watch this show as well as stay tuned on our website and Facebook feeds for more information about these public engagement opportunities so your voice can be heard with respect to transportation enhancements within the city of El Dorado. Well, I think that's all I got for this week. Everybody have a safe weekend, and we will see you next week on Things to Know.